Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and as you can probably tell, today I am in the Bedrock edition of Minecraft. Now this is because last week I made a video on block swappers on the floor, the wall, and the ceiling, but they were Java edition only, so if you did try to build them in Bedrock, you probably noticed they didn't work. And I got some people who wanted to see a Bedrock version because it's definitely a little bit harder on Bedrock to make one of these block swappers, so I figured I would make a Bedrock version as I do make both Bedrock and Java builds on my channel. So let me start this video off with a quick demonstration of each of these builds, and so if I come over to this first one, this is the floor block swapper, as you can probably tell, and if I push this button, as you can see, this block will swap out, and if I push it again, it will swap back. Now onto the wall block swapper. Again, push the button, it switches, push it again, it switches back, and then of course the same thing with the ceiling block swapper, just like the other ones. One additional note about these three block swappers when compared to their Java brethren is that the Java builds, as I showed in the previous video, if you put in a 1-tick pulse into this input block, nothing happens at all, and if you put in a 2-tick pulse, it functions fully, so any pulse length will work, but a 1-tick pulse would do nothing. This build is a little bit different. In fact, if it has a 1 or 2-tick pulse, it has a chance of breaking, and so for 100% consistency, you need a 3-tick input pulse at least. And so if I just put an observer right here, as you can see it switches over, and then if I do it again, it switches back, and this should work 100% of the time on all three of these. Anyway, let's get on to the materials for the first build. So for the floor block swapper, you will need the following materials: 3 redstone torches, 2 redstone repeaters, 3 sticky pistons, 1 input source, I'm using a button, 3 redstone dust, and then whatever building blocks you're using. Now let's get on to building. For the floor block swapper, you will need a 5 by 3 by 3 area. That's 5 in width, 3 in length, and then 3 in the depth in the ground. And additionally, the block that is going to be fully extended or currently showing, as I had over there, will be 1 above this level in the far back in the middle, like this. So we can start with our piston layout, which is similar to the Java edition. We will just be placing 1 sticky piston in the middle right here, 1 up like this, and then 1 up on the other side, both facing towards this middle sticky piston. Next, we want to place 1 block here, so they're slanted down like this, and then 1 block here, so there's a 1 block gap in between this sticky piston and this block. We can then place a redstone torch on all 3 of these blocks, just like so, and then 1 redstone repeater coming out of this torch on each side, just like this. Then we can place in the blocks that we are going to be swapping, 1 on this piston, and then 1 either here in front of this piston or here, but only one or the other, not both. And then finally, we can place 3 redstone dust, 2 here, and then 1 here. This is again optional, similarly to the Java edition build, but I'm putting it there so my button works. But you can leave it out and just run your input on this block right here. And if we build out a platform just like we had at the start, we should see that if I push this button, it will work, and if I push it again, it will switch back. One quick thing I forgot to mention about all of these builds is, as I showed in this tutorial, you actually need to put the second block in before you put in the redstone dust on these blocks here, because if I break this block, you see it extends, and then in the Java edition, this is how I did it. I would put the block here, I would push the button, and this sticky piston would become blank, but if you have 1 block in there, it will become permanently extended and will just retract and then re-extend over and over again. And so what you need to do is have your second block put in with a sticky piston before you put in that redstone, so it will switch between them just like that. For the wall block swapper, you will need the following materials: 3 redstone torches, 2 redstone repeaters, 3 sticky pistons, 1 input source, I'm using a button, 2 redstone dust, and then whatever building blocks you're using. Now let's get on with the build. For this build, you will need a 5 by 3 by 3 area that is 5 in width, 3 in length, and then 3 in the depth in the ground. Additionally, the block that is currently extended or showing and what will be swapped is on the third block where this blue line is in the very middle right here. To start, what we want to do is grab our sticky pistons, build up 3 so it's right here on the middle block of this 3 by 5 area, and then build up on the sides so these sticky pistons can switch the blocks just like that. We can then place in our blocks to get it out of the way that we are going to be swapping just like that, and then we can come to the back, and on all 3 of these pistons we are going to build down slanted one like that, just like this, and then we are going to place our 3 redstone torches on all of these just like before right here. Staying down here, we can place 2 blocks here with our repeaters on them just like this. And then we can come up to the top and on these 2 side pistons place our redstone dust just like that. And now we are actually done with this build. So here, let me build a quick frame just to show where this actually goes. And then our input block is this block right here. And so as you can see, this stone block is showing. And if I hit it, it will switch over to this sandstone. And then if I push again, it will switch back. For the ceiling block swapper, you will need the following materials: 3 redstone torches, 2 redstone repeaters, 3 sticky pistons, 1 input source, I'm using a button, 2 redstone dust, and whatever building blocks you're using. Now let's get on to building. For the ceiling block swapper, you'll need a 5 by 3 by 3 area. That's 5 in width, 3 in length, and 3 in the depth in the ground. For where I have this wool laid out, our ceiling, so if we move this upward, is actually where this dirt is right here. So if this is our ceiling right here, if we build up 2 blocks right here, we need a solid block right here that will actually be our input block. So if you need to make room for that, because it is outside of this zone for redstone, make sure you have room, because there will be a redstone torch that needs to be placed on this block, which is again 1 block outside and 2 blocks above our ceiling. So it's easier to show you. I've made my ceiling up here, but the redstone will take up the same area that I showed down here. But like I said, I will just be doing all the redstone on top of this so we can actually see what's going on underneath. And also, the block that will be swapping and is currently displayed is this middle block of this 5 by 3 area right here. So again, this is the block that is going to be extended and being swapped right here. So to start our build, what we can do is come in this spot right here, build up 2, and then place our sticky piston facing down, and then also build our 2 side sticky pistons just like that. Then, just to get out of the way, we can place our 2 blocks that we are swapping right there, but then, like I said earlier, we can build out one right here and place our redstone torch on it so this piston is being powered. Then, similar to the other 2 builds, we can build out one here with a redstone repeater on each of them so they're going outward. And what we can do after we place in those 2 repeaters is build up a block so they're both going into a solid block, and then place a redstone torch on these blocks right here. And then finally, what we want to do is place our 2 redstone dust, one on this block right here, and one on the opposite side right here, and this piston should activate as well. And then we are done, our input block being this one, like I said earlier, and if I push it, as you can see, they swap. If I push it again, it swaps back. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe down below. I make videos just like this one every single Friday, and I'll see you in the next one.